advertised. Hashtag AEW Dynamite.
Y'all, we'll see if it comes up and I can hear myself. No, it looks like I am muted, thankfully. Here at twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horseman Infidels, back after your Friday locker room recording, right back at it for some demolition to tear this place down. We need to get some new digs, so we're going to light the fuse, set the C4, the detonators, the depth charges, whatever we've got in the back, some powder keg to blow off here, Infidels. Get the black powder if you need to. We're taking it all the way back, because as I combine on the juice from the mine, heal up, wheel up, bring it back, come rewind, powerful impact, boom from the cannon, and boom from hackerhamin.podbean.com, here on your AEW Light the Fuse review. YOLO! I told you, Sil, I'm punchy, I'm wired, I'm ready to go, man. I'm out there using power tools, using the nail gun, using everything, man, inhaling fumes from paint primer. I don't even know what's going on with me at this point. I'm wound like a squirrel, baby. How you doing this morning, Big Sil?
I'm great. Hamin in the bunker over there huffing paint, trying to get ready for an addition to light the fuse. I'm doing good, man. It's a sunny day here in Florida. I can't complain. I see your face. I see Maddie B's beautiful face over there. Denver bound, Maddie B.
Yeah.
I have to stooge that already before the news starts. Congrats on that, Maddie.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, went a little bit over it on yesterday Impact. But
yeah,
I appreciate
listen to that Impact attack yesterday. Highly motivational, Sil. I think you'd be very proud of us. Absolutely some Chris Silvio mindset bleeding through that conversation in the first 20 minutes where we talk all about the pursuit of greatness for yourself. Go ahead, Maddie.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited. I just got off, actually, before we started here, I was just filling out like the background paperwork and stuff like that. And so I'm just starting to get that paperwork in, and then I'm going to be gone next week. So it's just going to be you two, the veterans, running your own shows.
Whatever will we do?
Exactly right. No, yeah, of course you'll be fine without me. And as I appreciate you allowing me to be here, but I will be missed.
You'll be missed.
I'll be in Arizona next week for a vacation, as well as So I'm just having a good time right now. So I'm doing good.
You have more than earned it, young man. Go have a good time in Arizona. Make sure you get all your Tinder setups ready to rock and roll out there, so you can run the trap line and then come back to us refreshed once again. And get ready to do my least favorite thing. It's always great new adventures, and so you've done this plenty times as well, man. But God damn it, I hate packing up and moving. It is one of my least fucking favorite chores, bro, of all. Especially after you buy a house and you accrue more shit. You're just like, God damn it.
I mean, as a single guy here, I'm going to move my camera. As a single guy, you can see I'm still got boxes from when I first moved in. I haven't even unpacked them
there
still.
You go.
So.
You're already halfway home.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm ready to go. So.
That's the life of a traveling artist, man. That's really what it is, dude.
Yeah, I don't mind like packing the boxes. It's physically taking the items and putting them on the truck and then taking them out that I hate. Packing is it's not too bad. It's like washing dishes. You get through it.
Yeah, I'm going to really downsize again here, and I'm probably going to go for a studio apartment. This one bedroom's nice, but I really don't need all this space. So, like, I'll probably downsize. Plus, like, it's going to be more expensive to live in Denver. I'm already looking at like, ooh, but I guess if they're going to pay me a little bit more, that's why they pay you a little bit more. So that way you can live there, right?
Yeah, right. Cost of living, it'll adjust. Absolutely. Yeah. And you should be going up in pay scale. Dye your hair gray and move into Russo's retirement community. Just claim you're 58 or something, and that you're. And dude, then you can go over after all the old ladies.
Hey, bro, I'm Vince Russo's brother. What are you talking about?
You're just the new guy on the block. Is all. Get in there cheap, man.
They have good amenities at those 55 and ups.
There's plenty of sugar mamas who may be widows there who have an extra room to rent.
See, did you hear about the one in Florida, the 55 and up community that had like its own strand of STD?
Yeah, well, Man Beast had told me about that because Danny and Julie had stooged it off to like that. The biggest outbreak of herpes and gonorrhea was in these fucking retirement communities down there where these cougars are out just tearing down dicks left and right, apparently. Right, so
it was like syphilis. It was like its own strand.
They're out to get you.
Hey, we had a cougar come out on TV this week, too.
Yeah, I know we did. And that was a good call because we actually put out the call for that last week or the week before, and on Twitter, somebody hit me up with a suggestion, and I said, that's a good call, and boom, right on it. We'll get to it, but, our fans are in tune with what's going on, and we got the new mailbag here at lightthefusehmg@gmail.com, so I'm not sure if we got any new ones or not. We can get to them down the road as we go through the news and everything that way. Still, anything else new you want to cover before we start lighting it up here?
Might as well. I just got this tweet mere seconds ago from Lifelong Body Wash Guy at Smooth Jazz Life, one of our buddies there on Twitter. How fantastic was that Sunny Kiss entrance last night?
Oh,
very fantastic.
Extremely fantastic. But it's also kind of tough to see Sunny Kiss go and get heat after that and be like a tough wrestler, you know what I mean? Like, because it's so fanciful and they worked it and rehearsed it. It was awesome. And they shined Sunny in the right way in that opening spot, especially after everything that went down. I'm sure we'll talk about it. But as we go through the show, a lot of the psychology in the matches had me confused last night in the stories they were trying to tell. So especially after that awesome entrance, the match just didn't fit. The puzzle piece wasn't there to me. So we'll get to it.
Yeah. Sunny got moves though.
Forget about it, dude. Like professional dancer all the way, and choreographed with the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm sure was a dream come true. For someone who's into the lifestyle and all that. I don't want to stereotype, but still, that's a badass little moment in your career when they go, Sunny Kiss been wrestling for 6 years. I'm like, fucking 6 years. And well, here's your entrance and shine. And you only really get one chance to make a first impression. And I will always remember that entrance. So that was a very good job.
Matt, how great would it be to watch Hamin perform that entrance alongside Sunny Kiss?
I would pay a good $100 for that ticket.
Yeah.
I am a classically trained dancer, so tap, jazz.
I know I've heard you sing, so I know it wouldn't be bad either. I would be entertained as well.
People would be surprised because I kayfabe all that shit because obviously it's a heat killer.
I mean, you could rap. I mean, that's what I meant. You can rap. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But, no, they don't know about Handel's Messiah and all that shit, man. That I did. And, there's plenty that I could easily kill my gimmick in 2 seconds, but it would be worth it to pop you guys. I used to make my cousin Jeff and referee sideburns as long before, they were in the biz, or even I really was with my improv days. So, when Stacy Keebler would come to the ring and do, the sexy through the dance, my cousin is a D1 linebacker for Hobart, and we call initiation because we got the posse up here in my crew, and you'd have to do Stacy Keebler's entrance the whole way while she did it all sexy and just to disgrace yourself in front of your boys. And that's the fun of watching wrestling together. Those are the moments. Dude, every time I think Stacy Keebler is just my cousin Jeff, who you heard on the NFL show here, doing that kind of stuff, or I'd make Sideburns do Mickey James's entrance or something along those lines. I always love that shit, dude.
And COVID aside, I did the same type of things with my crew. COVID aside, do you think people still get together to watch wrestling? You think people are hanging out watching?
I do. I go to Sideburns, play with Modi. Rated R comes over and we watch.
We don't count though. We're from the previous.
I think they do, man. If you're gonna find your crew and your clique of your brother, and then his buddy watches it, and you're gonna get together and come over and hang out and have your Domino's or whatever you're ordering from, Little Caesars, and bust balls with the boys. That's the beauty of what wrestling really is that camaraderie, man. So I really do hope that's going on. One thing I was thinking of, especially when we'll get to the Bischoff and Khan piece, I'm sure, is where AEW is missing with that interactive crowd is right now. You don't want to be showing not social distancing, I get it, and you can pick and choose how you want to in a certain way, but Zoom parties, but Nitro, the WCW with those Nitro parties, that was a very brilliant marketing strategy to tap into Theta Lambda Psi fraternity and fucking go and send fire and whisper there, and they're dancing, and then people at home shooting their own stuff, we can have in real time of show your AEW party with your bros and things like that. I think if Bischoff, which I believe is already signed with TNT because he's just an excellent businessman, very shrewd, very coy, and wants the paycheck and knows he can get it. that would be a great idea to steal from WCW era that WWE doesn't do, because they're so out of touch with their fans, bro, and like it's phony in so many ways. AEW at least does have that organic hardcore fan base and would produce awesome content for you that way.
Yeah, they teased the Nitro-like party at the top of the show maybe 2 weeks ago. Did anybody else catch that?
I don't think I did. I know they're doing the thing with the call, the 30 prize giveaway. They plugged that.
No,
pretty
this
well.
was separate. They didn't use the word Nitro, obviously, but they Tony billboarded at the top of the show something like, film you and your friends watching AEW Dynamite. Send the videos in. So it sounded just like the pitch for Nitro Party without the words Nitro Party. So you're kind of getting what you want there. But I didn't hear any mention of it this week, so I don't know if they're going with it or not.
This is interesting. Fudge 420 says, y'all, hey guys, was just listening to JR bitch about the fact that the new wrestlers aren't following any of the rules. He was on Busted Open yesterday. He said, I love this take, shutting down these guys that are trying to reinvent the wheel and aren't being very successful doing it. Dude, I got to say, the spot heavy shit in the Bucks match fucking was bad, bro. Like, business exposing bad just to get shit in. And I think JR's got to be sitting there going, what the fuck, dude? So we'll get to it. You want to talk Khan and Bischoff? I mean, that seems to be the hot news. What do you what's your take on that? Any of that? So
I didn't even watch it yet. I saw you guys sent me the link.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I got the highlights.
To tune in. Fill me in. I know, Matty, you got all the details on that.
Well, I mean, I didn't actually watch it all the way through because it's an hour and a half podcast with all three of these people. I think what it initially was to promote, of course, for the charity for the COVID. That's what the whole Fight for the Fallen pay-per-view was surrounded by. However, my initial take, and we brought this up on the Impact Attack, was that Tony Khan didn't look as professional as he could have been. I.e., he kind of looked like a wrestling fan versus the owner of a company as far as his interactions with Eric Bischoff. He came off as very jubilant and excited, like you're meeting, somebody you've idolized or somebody you've admired for a good period of time. It's like when people message sometimes me about like wanting to send messages to Ben, and they're like, a little bit intimidated, and I take that into consideration before I'm like, okay, I get it, I'll send it over to Ben. But like a lot of times I think, I just send a message to Ben. Ben's a cool guy, he'll respond. But I get it when you admire somebody who's on that celebrity status level. I guess you have that admiration. But at his level, I get it. He's the owner of AEW. He should, he's got to act like it a little bit more. That's, I guess, what was my takeaway, Silvio.
Khan's just kind of like one of the bros, right? Evidently, he's going around with a bag of White Claws.
He's a 34, 35-year-old guy, right? So he's a young guy. He's about my age.
I think that's kind of what he's going for. Similar to kind of how Bischoff presented himself in a way in the 90s with WCW, where he was more presenting himself as one of the boys, hanging out with the guys at the bar and, random other actions that are alleged. But I think Khan's actually, I think there are a lot of parallels between Eric Bischoff and Tony Khan.
Well, except for the fact that Bischoff's father didn't give him $100 million to fucking run the company. I see.
His Uncle Ted did.
Yeah. I see the same plot playing out, buddy. Here's a whale with a lot of blubber on him. And I guess even in this, he stooged off that they're in the red already. So I bet Bischoff's deals with TNT, so he's not, taking money out of AEW's pocket. That's why the big smiles and everything, and why it is all going down. And that's why this is the pebble in the pond for the marks to be able to see it and start to digest it to go this way. Let's talk TNA and Impact. How did this work out? One gets a hook in. Here comes Bruce. Here comes Hogan. Here comes Bully Ray. Here comes this guy. And now, that's not on the TNT side. That's on the big money side. None of those guys I just mentioned. Now add Hawkins, Ryder, Rusev, Ryback. Now what's your show look like? Doesn't look.
Where'd Ryback come from? Is he supposed to be coming in?
I think. Jericho just dropped a story saying how much he loved working with Ryback, and he had hoped there was going to be bigger stuff for them in WWE, and it got switched to Fandango because of how Vince is. But Jericho doesn't put that shit out unless that's a, quick, like to work the web just to get the pebble in the pond. So, I think Ryback would be great there. All those guys that are talent that should be, but if they're in the red already, and you got Bischoff as a wartime consigliere, which I think is exactly what he needs. We've talked about Khan needing a big brother plenty of times,
This is so Fudge 420 in the chat room says he was being a fanboy, but at the same time telling Bischoff that he's the only one that truly knows what Khan is going through right now. Trying to be equal with him, was also marking out that he and Bischoff were both 37 when they started their television shows.
A lot of similarities between the two. And you got to think just like, okay, let's put aside the fact that they're a wrestling company and a show that we monitor very closely. They're a new business, right? This is a startup business, same as if Maddie and I open Chris and Matt's Taco Shack of Love.
Ooh.
It's a pretty good name right there.
I want some tacos.
Most businesses expect to take, at least somewhat of a loss until they hit their stride and recoup some costs. So to me, I kind of want to know, like, how deep in the red. I think that's what determines the future. Are they meeting their projections that they thought they would be? Are they a little below, or, are they hemorrhaging money? Because I think that's the difference between them operating and having faith in WCW.
I think you mentioned yesterday you had heard that they're operating in the red, correct?
I think that was. I think he stooged that off in that interview.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That was told to me by our chat group. So, I mean,
okay.
The last thing I got time for this week is to listen to that fucking podcast. So,
check it out.
Yeah. But, give us the bullet points. We appreciate you, Fudge 420, for suffering through and letting us know what's going on.
Thanks, Fudge.
Smoke
you,
with you got him. With the bits as well. We'll see, man. Bischoff knows his shit, dude. He's smart as fuck. And I bet he's already signed on the TNT side. And we'll see if he can help right the ship, because it's such a strange show this week. And there's good and bad, and then there's like why. But some things I'm excited about. I don't know about this thing, though, because what was last night? Fight for the Fallen? And we're coming off of Fyter Fest 1 and 2. Like, I think we need to take a break from this where everything looks like a pay-per-view, but it's just weekly TV. I think that's a branding mistake. But then again, the branding officer will probably be in the ring instead of worrying about those things.
Well, I think they kind of got forced into the situation, because normally Fyter Fest would have just been one pay-per-view in the month of June. And then Fight for the Fallen would have been in late July.
Okay.
But because Mox went down with COVID, they had to essentially create another brand new night to put and surround Mox and his championship defense with Cage. That's what I'm gathering. I mean, based on looking from an outside perspective. They could have spaced it.
We follow.
Yeah,
I got one more.
Go ahead.
I got one more Bischoff point I want to make before we get out of there. I think from TNT's standpoint, that's a smart decision from them.
Sure.
If he can come with a piece of paper saying, here's what I did 20 years ago on your same channel with an upstart wrestling company, and that they've already cycled through pretty much any employee that would have been around before to see the fall of WCW. And when you apply for a job, you talk about, your acolytes. You don't talk about how I was banging the secretary and I was drinking vodka underneath my desk. You don't talk about all the bad things. So I think people from TNT would be excited to get Bischoff, knowing what he was able to do and make. I think WCW hadn't been profitable in like 5 or 7 years before Bischoff got in there. So smart buy. If they did buy.
I think absolutely. There's no other reason. Like, he knows, and WWE is hemorrhaging right now. 1.5, the lowest rating ever, and just so tone deaf and so in over their heads with what the networks are paying, So we talked about this on Russo brand, breaking down the $1 billion for fucking SmackDown, over 5 years, $200 million a year, 52 shows a year, breaks down to $3.84 million per show, bro. And you break that down into segment, it comes out to $961,000 and change per segment. So that karaoke segment on SmackDown where they sang Be With My Baby Tonight, Honky Tonk Man, The Game, and Dusty's theme cost almost $1 million, $39,000 short of $1 million. unfucking believable. The work that these people are turning in, that they're turning into huge networks and saying, "Here you go." It's complete robbery, dude. Complete thievery. Even if you were to take all 5 of those people's fucking salaries, I bet in that one that were in that one segment, it wouldn't come up to $961,000 for 4 minutes that they paid to pay all of them off, bro. I'm just awestruck. So at 150,000, I'm going 100 million Khan's money and 40 to 50 on TNT's because I've heard they pay for half of the not on any road shows, but they're not right now. So I don't know what they're doing, either holding that money, reinvesting, whatever. But if the word is they are in the red, and we're not even a year in, Sil. We're not even a year in.
That's the point I'm making, though. I think they kind of expected to be in the red in year one. It just is how deep in the red they are that matters. Because it could be par for the course, or it could be very alarming, depending on the severity of the red.
What's Dad say? Once 100 million's gone, here's another 100 mil, especially when football's not running.
You got to have a damn good plan of action, because eventually the checks will stop coming.
Right.
But I want them to continue coming, and they've done a lot of good things in their time with us, and it kind of sucks for them that they opened a wrestling company when 2020 happened. And I talk about this all the time. I had got some investments lined up, and I was making moves to start a program here in Florida that would have cost a lot of money to produce. I don't want to go into great specifics of it because one day I would like to make all this come together, but it would have taken a lot of time, energy, and money, and this would have been like my life's work put into a wrestling program here in Florida. And we were pretty much set to go, and between my injury and then COVID-19 coming, thankfully, I hadn't pulled that trigger because I can only imagine right now I would be probably 6 months in as a new business owner.
Clock cleaned, right? Tough enough. To make it when everything's going, even swimmingly, let alone before the storms come in. Absolutely. That's lucky to avoid that one.
But they can't, they got to go with it now.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of potentially businesses going under here, I've got a story here. Speculation about the future of NWA has begun after wrestling legend Raven claims there's talks of Billy Corgan shutting it down. Raven recently spoke with Hannibal TV where he claimed that there has been talks of NWA shutting down due to Billy becoming disillusioned. He said, I think Billy is shutting down from what I hear. So, yeah, and the thing is, Billy really does the booking. Billy does all the booking. At least he did with the Resistance Pro Wrestling. He liked me there to have my wrestling mind so I can say yay or nay to ideas, like if they make sense or if they don't. But ultimately, he was the final say on everything, and he should have been. I don't know, but I have heard through the grapevine that Billy is not opening him back up, and he's disillusioned, he added. The reason for this disillusion feeling is due to Dave Lagana resigning from the company in June after allegations were made against him during the Speaking Out movement. It's worth noting this by no means confirmation that the NWA will be shutting down. It's just purely speculation based on Raven's comments. Start with you, Mr. Silvio. What do you think about that?
I think he's got a point there. That's part of me is not expecting them to return. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen, but you take COVID into consideration with them also. They were just relaunching the brand and starting to get a little traction. When this happened. And even prior to COVID, we did see their numbers drop off slightly, but it still had a good feel around the product and people were talking about it. It's a big black eye, the Lagana thing. And they could definitely come back from it, yes, but are they willing to put the resources in to come back? Or would it be just easiest to pack it up? And what's he going to do then? Sell it? Like, what do you do after that?
Ben Hamin, are you ready to take over NWA?
All right, here's the stooge. Russo writes me a big, huge letter of recommendation, putting it all over right in the wake of all that with Lagana. Not burying Lagana, but saying, could have brought him up to you before. Maybe you haven't heard his name. Puts me over. Billy writes back, big thank you. We're looking for solutions and da-da-da going forward. I hit up Magnus on text. Everything's quiet. and Magnus usually and I are pretty cool. Like he usually comes right back to me. So then like the day after, I saw a tweet where Magnus seemed like pretty like upset about what was going on. I can't remember what it was. Something about the roller coaster. Magnus has been effed over X amount of times, and like here was his thing. Like this was going to be his legacy piece that shows the world he is a Harley Race level fucking worker, NWA wise, pride in wrestling, a different flavor in the face of everything else, right? The reignition and the look, then the Cornette fuck over, then the Lagana F over, which really the reality of that isn't even done. Like what you know on the surface of that is one of 5 or 6 incidents. Lagana, I tried to work with him, and he said he no-sold me. I go back to him. He goes, "Show me one thing." I'm like, dude, if you don't know who the fuck I am by now, I've met you 3 times at OVW, at WWE, and at Impact. If you don't know, bro, then I'm not going to jump through hoops for you. So when they say Rome is burning and it was all the Fox stuff, that was a big part of it too, that nobody ever knew that shit was going on, where here I come again with a peace offering, with I would love to help and da-da-da-da, and I have this. No, why should I even look at you? Okay. I know about you. You obviously don't know about me, that I don't have any bad skeletons in the closet that I got to worry about. But you're the one who's going to fucking make me dance. We'll see who dances. And now, because they backed the wrong horse, guys fail upwards. Stooge is going to stooge. And Billy loves wrestling, but he said at the cost, I'll lose $1 million this year. Well, maybe he lost his $1 million. And I think there's a lot of interesting creative opportunities to get them on Amazon or Netflix, backed with a Smashing Pumpkins concert, to do a barter system. Like the money draws on the concert. Sure, you give up 1% of the profits from it, but you also ensure that NWA has a 3-year spot on Netflix. Now we go forward. In $1 million budget, what's that to Netflix? Nothing. So I can see where he's disillusioned, because guess what? Every step of the way, Billy has been kicked in the nuts. But he came in the right way. He came in with Resistance Pro. Let's get in at a level that's low. I'm a huge mark for Raven, so I'm going to bring Raven in, and he's going to be my consigliere to make sure I'm doing shit right. Billy's smart in doing that. The Barron brothers ran the local Chicago market. They brought in guys that looked good. It looked like a top indie, but they only lasted 2-3 years because of whack decision making and going bigger than they thought they could. And even companies like Blitz did better than them while I was there. So they fold. Billy goes to Impact. Another fat whale. Here come the sharks. Take a bite, take a bite, take a bite, take a bite. He has to get out dirty. Even when they were doing dirt back and forth, him and Ed Nordholm, just pay me my $1.8 million. Like, in public, like Billy Corgan selling in public like that for Impact and Dixie. Well, they're like, they all came in. I was standing right there. It was when Paradise was shooting the Kurt Angle final piece and all that weekend, dude. An awesome piece for Kurt Angle's Go Home. We got to work second team on that. And fucking, I look over there and Billy's there with everybody, and they're all starstruck from everyone around them. But you can just see, like, everyone wrestler-wise, worker. Let me get in with them and do this, that, and the other. Him and Lagana leave, start that. Every step of the way he's been kicked in the balls properly to show people what wrestling really is about. As a promoter, you better be ready to lose money, be frustrated, and then go do it again the next week. How long can you fucking take that? Now stack on there some strange pseudo-sexual proclivity from your fucking dude that there's no way Billy didn't know, but still trying to kayfabe it. Then you want to do good business for the fucking relaunch, so you bring in Cornette. Now you're double fucked. And why would Billy want to keep going when he goes, dude, I can just go play guitar and make $10 million instead of dealing with these carny shitheads all the time. And he'll own the entire NWA name property, and then maybe turn around and sell it to Vince for $2 million and just cash in and be done. And it was a fun wrestling, not so fun wrestling experiment. We flew close to the sun, but that's enough at this time. And I, unfortunately, from the silence I've heard, it's deafening that what Raven said on this podcast seems to be going that way.
Ooh, well, at this point, then you would hope that he either sell it to somebody who wants to do something with it, or hand over
Who's
the
that?
reins of
Who's that?
somebody.
Marquez?
Marquez, or let Marquez fully just operate it, and Billy takes 100% step back and go do Smashing Pumpkins.
I don't think. I don't think. No, I don't think Billy's got, or I don't think Marquez has got $1 million to pay for it. $2 million.
I'm not saying even pay for it. At least I'm just saying let him operate it. Then at that point,
why Billy's not fucking it up? The creative's not bad over there. It's a good look. It's what Sil just said. COVID fucked it. Like, he comes off of getting fucked by Impact. Turns around, gets the money, gets the thing going. A big effort. That's a huge effort in the time that he left Impact to get with Lagana and fucking Magnus and Brian, what's the ref? Hebner was a part of getting all the travel and shit done. Like, guys who are workhorses, just like you don't have a huge staff. Guys are wearing multiple hats, and they're also your champions, your fucking commentary team. And, Billy's writing and Lagana's producing. So in 6 months, they got all that off the ground to look the old school way, plus getting everybody they could lined up to get that vision going. And then your leg gets kicked out from underneath you, plus the YouTube model. What are they getting? 270,000 views on a show, some of them? Dude,
they're not even making $1,000.
They're not even making $1,000 on a show of what it takes to produce it. It was all probably teaser to get it on YouTube Red, or then turn around and sell it to that. But now you don't have the opportunity because you can't deliver on shows. There's no crowd there. You're fucked over twice. Where Sue said he just dodged the bullet, they weren't, bro. They were in the pocket at the right time for the wrong things to happen.
Yeah.
So there's a big stooge that whatever, man. And I'm still available. I hope they do fucking get off the ground, man. Like, that's something old school's what I do, what Sil and I do, man. Like, don't think, Billy Corgan, that there's not people out there who want to come in and help you do the right thing, get things going back off the ground, be able to take some of those tensions off you, and help get the business deal in place with Netflix and all that shit. Bird dogging's what I do. The fucking Fox thing opportunity we got is because I'm a psycho online detective, and I know how to get to people, and you have a valued property, and the Smashing Pumpkins Billy Corgan brand alone should open every door that you want it to, anywhere, to just have a sit down and a discussion with some people. Absolutely, there's still an opportunity there, but this industry will wear you the fuck down. Plus, think about 25 years in the music biz with a bunch of shady cocksuckers dealing with that too. He might just be like, fuck this, bro. And I couldn't blame him, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. I can't really go into it, but I did get a report on some stuff there. I'll just say there is something rising. Somebody is making moves even at a time like this. Off air, we could go into it a little further, but it's going to be an interesting year in pro wrestling.
Are you talking for NWA or
in general?
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I got one more little small little story where we can get into the email we have here in the mailbag.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go for the email, man. Fuck it.
All right. I was just going to bring up a story about Bully Ray and Jeff Hardy, but that's fine. We can go into the
Hold
mailbag.
on, no, real quick. What's going on with those two?
Oh, well, no, it was just he was telling a story about Impact Wrestling during the night. I guess Jeff Hardy went to the ring and had that infamous match with Sting, where he was inebriated. Well, I guess apparently the next day, Billy Ray went on to say, I remember when Jeff Hardy had the problem, the match against Sting. He says that the debacle in TNA. I remember when Jeff came back to the company and TNA made him apologize to the locker room. They put Jeff in front of the whole locker room, and he kind of just apologized, like, I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. But he ended up going on to say that he told Jeff that at the end of the meeting, they asked, does anybody want to say anything? And Billy Ray said, yes, I do. I said, I could really care less about all these things that went on. All I care about is that you can still hit your finish. And let's go out there and make some money. All the outside stuff is noise. We're performers. When your music hits, you get in there, you perform, you tear the house down, and then you go home. So I just thought that was an interesting story from Billy Ray.
I mean, they share that legacy, but that's fucked up to me, dude. Like, did he watch that segment Like where
I
he's
don't
out,
think so.
like he must not have, because I watched that shit live. I was like, I can't believe they sent him through the curtain like that, dude. And Russo and I have talked about this, and Stevie a couple times on air, why they wouldn't just say, sit the fuck down, eat your pudding, and fucking Bobby Roode, go pull 15, bro, and you're up. And if you got to cut a promo on him saying that this guy's back here and he needs help, and that's why I'm out here, because he's in no condition to perform, then let's do that. But instead, they sent him out there, and he's doing the T-shirt house show, I'll throw it this way, and he's in the corner and can barely stand up. Dude, for Bully Ray, I don't give a shit about all that other stuff. Let's go make some money. You're going to put your fucking life in a guy's hands like that who can fucking barely stand in the ring because he's gimmicked up on a fistful of somas? Wow. Not to say that Bully Ray hasn't done that plenty of times with the Sandman, half a case of beer in, Sabu fucking, and Rob Van Dam, an ounce and a half, and who knows what the fuck else. And, whoever else on Yayo, fucking, here comes New Jack, cracked up, and he got a match against him. So I could see where Bully's coming from, but that's not the right message to send there, is it, Sil?
No, but he's coming from ECW. I heard a New Jack story recently when he did that show, the Vice show. I dug in and wanted to listen to some other New Jack interviews, and he tells a story about one time he and the boys ate acid before an ECW match, and he thought Sabu was a lizard. So he's saying shit like, "Get away from me, lizard!" Like while they're in the ring. So Bully's from that era, Sandman coming out barely able to stand. So to him, it might not have been as big a deal as it is to us.
I guess, man, but that just seems like a strange fucking message to put out there in this day and age of like, I don't give a fuck how fucked up you are. Let's go draw, brother. Like, that is old school wrestling ways. And
It's old school.
I seen fucking guys at OVW. I remember, I won't name names, would be in a Derby Expo 5 looking over there, brother Soma the fuck out, drooling on himself before he's got to be in the semi-main event an hour and a half from now. It's the way it goes down, man. That's fucking carnies, queers, and drug addicts. There are things in this fucking biz, right, dude?
And I won't edit that out.
No,
Let's go ahead and get to the first email here, guys. It's from Mark. Hello to the 2 men of the 2 million downloads. I watched the show solo this week as my son is away on his trip. TNT match was good. I thought there was too many finisher type moves being kicked out of, like the 450 splash to a quick pin and a kick out of 2. I like JR constantly calling Sonny a he and a she in the same sentence. Of course, he agrees that Sonny's entrance was good. I realize the issue I've been having lately with FTR. They need an exciting team to go against for me to be excited to watch them. They are a good base for high flyers, which is why I was a big fan when they fought teams like American Alpha and DIY in NXT, and why tonight's match was good. Like Vince told them, they are just good pro wrestlers. That's his opinion, of course. He continues on. I'm happy to see Vicky with Nyla, which we didn't even consider Vicky last week. We had that conversation. The Nightmare Sister was a good fit for what it was. The 6-man match makes me want AEW to get some 6-man tag belts because everyone else needs a belt, right? The main event was good for what it was, but why would they not have Cage dominate and go over? We bragged about Cage for weeks. I was training for the last few weeks, and all Mox was doing was sitting at home. Darby looks like he lost weight since he's been off TV, although he's a guy I would like to get the FTW belt. Maybe Mox screws over Cage and allows Darby to win it, and Cage beats Mox in a rematch. Overall, the AEW show presentation blows Raw and SmackDown, though, away, and it makes it something I look forward to watching. With more than 8 people in the key demo also means it appears that they prefer AEW over NXT as well. Love, cousin Marky Mark.
Appreciate you, Marky Mark. Thanks for writing in at Light the Fuse, hmg@gmail.com. You guys, please send us your mails. Also got heated on last night by GGP trying to do great things with the New Force Order podcast, and he's frustrated because he knows he got the listeners, and he's trying to get you guys to interact with him to do fun stuff for their show, and then they get the same 5. But then when they say they're going to cancel the show, everybody comes out of the woodwork saying, no, please don't. So let's be as loyal listeners as we possibly can be, like Mark here, and sending and interacting, because they're doing this stuff and giving your time out. So, and plus, you don't want GGP cutting promos on you all the time. I know I don't want to. So, yeah, there's plenty here to break down. We're going to do that in the show. seg by seg. I think you're kind of spot on with a lot of your analysis of how I saw things and had questions of why, especially the FTR stuff. Great wrestlers and could have been one of the most anticipated debuts. And I'm just kind of like, you know, what are we watching here? I love good tag team wrestling, but we don't have stakes. The truck thing we'll get into. I'm just like, wow.
That was weird.
Yeah. And Brian Cage, put him on the fucking fire pit with Archer and Brody, man. I just do not understand why
And Hager.
And Hager. So we'll get to all that, man, but appreciate you writing in. So what are you thinking, man?
Yeah, but what's interesting to me about his email was thinking that they blow away SmackDown and Raw. Matt, I know you're a numbers guy. I'm curious to know how AEW Dynamite does in the demo versus how Raw and SmackDown does in the demo.
Actually, I think I sent it over to you guys in our chat. I can quickly pull that up here, but from my recollection, it was a 0.66 was their highest in the 18 to 49 demo on Monday Night Raw. And I think that AEW is doing a 0.5 to a 0.6 on Wednesday nights, with NXT doing somewhere around a 0.2 to a 0.3, which is why Jericho is touting he's a demo god. Let me pull
this
this
up. They're close to Monday Night Raw then.
Raw was 0.49.
Really? Wow.
So then technically AEW is beating Raw in the demo?
Potentially.
This week was the lowest Raw ever. It was on Pro Wrestling.
Yeah.
But that's what makes all this shit confusing. Like the demo talk. Like,
let's talk real though.
Total viewers. Like, it's
wrestling sucks and wrestling is dying and wrestling is not over right now. I don't care what numbers you say, what demos you say, whatever it is tuning in. When you watch either show, 70% of it seems like a parody of wrestling, of people playing wrestling, of non-organic crowds, of uninspired Messiah promos, of karaoke to rib 5 producers and Vince backstage, to do an orange juice drop spot and then put Jericho on the mic the rest of the show. It is not cool and it is not working anywhere. I have to say it, dude. Like, as much as I love it, and in the dying days, there's always money to be made for the diehards who are going to try and stay loyal till its last breaths. We'll be in there, but wrestling sucks right now. Yeah, and for everybody, dude, because of COVID and not because of COVID, because you have Scooby-Doo in your ring and Jesus giving stunners, and because you're taking out Sean Spears. Like, because your chief branding officer is now tagging with the bunny and something new and restarting people. There's just so many reasons that are excuses that never should have happened on everybody's show, for bringing back Cornette, for hiring guys that have tons of skeletons in the closet that are a fucking live grenade ready to go off at any time and ruin your business. Like, this is the karma. This is what it really is. And we can't make excuses anymore for why this, that, or the other didn't work in so many reasons. 70-80% of it is that wrestling sucks and wrestling is dead.
I'll agree partially, but I'd say mostly due to COVID explains the recent things. Like, I'm not a super big fan of a lot of the writing that happens on 2 of the weekly shows. I'll just leave that up for interpretation. And I think that writing's been pretty bad for quite a while.
2 guys are writing it, Bruce and Vince. That's it.
Not confirming or denying that.
I am.
I get hot sometimes because I'm thinking, man, there are all these wrestling fans, and part of me is mad that I know it's not as fun because there's no people. Part of me gets mad, like, just watch the fucking shows so we can keep the shows. And then I start thinking, like, if I didn't have I have to review this show and I have to review NXT. So I was thinking, if I didn't have to do this, would I still be watching? Because it feels weird to me too watching. I watch these 2 shows and appreciate them and like a lot of things they do, but I don't know if I would be around if I didn't have to. And that's kind of sad to say. And it's not really their fault for those 2 shows necessarily, but
They need to shoulder some of that blame, absolutely.
So, just to kind of make sure I'm clear here, just from last week, Wednesday of July 8th, AEW All Elite Wrestling in the 18 to 49 demo scored a .39 as their highest. And then last week, WWE's first hour, or sorry, their 10 p.m. hour, they had a .62.
Okay. So they're still not touching.
That was last week, though, right?
That was Monday, July 13th.
Okay.
So, and then their highest hour was their 8 o'clock hour, which was a .66.
That's not hard. If you really wanted to fuck with them, that's where Bischoff's in is. That's where if I was in that team, I'd say Easy E, this is our first project. Look how close we are, .36 to .62, right? That means we got to come up 70%, and that's just to gain an audience in here. So how do we focus in on that 18 to 49 and endear them to make them feel like them tuning in is us kicking the shit out of WWE like you did, and to be the anti-hero? Easy, how do we do that, bro? And fucking, well, here's the strategy I used. All right, now let's pump that up for 2020 in a social media instant gratification scenario. Now we've got our loose model. Let's plug in the pieces that way.
So in WWE touts NXT, at least that's what they're touting. Or they've
People
got
still have tout on their phone. They're still doing tout.
Yeah, exactly. Their demo on Wednesday nights with NXT is .26, but their 50+ demo is a .4. And I know people like to shit on that, but I'm telling you guys, like, advertisers pay different things. All they have to do is shift to medication advertisers instead of Mountain Dew. So people will pay to advertise if the people are watching. But as far as from, I guess, AEW's demographic, what they are trying to reach, they are, choosing that demographic to advertise their dominance on Wednesday nights right now. And I think that ties into tonight's show. AEW review. Let's get started there, as the demo guide is going to be coming out. But we're going to be starting with a championship match, TNT championship match, with Sonny Kiss taking on Cody Rhodes. As we've all put over, and you mentioned, Sonny had a very magnanimous entrance. Cody nails Sonny with a big boot to start things off as soon as the bell rings, and puts the boots in the corner. Starts doing some push-ups in the corner as well, kind of like, I guess.
Hot-shotting.
Flaunting.
Hot dogging.
Flaunting, yeah. Flam. Arn Anderson tries to admonish him, tells him to get up, get his head in the game, take Sonny Kiss seriously. So I like that dynamic there. Sonny does.
I got hot at a missed opportunity here. So we're doing all that sexy shit with the androgyny of the cheerleaders and check out my sexy dance and ass, and I'm luring you in with the siren song, even though I'm identifying as whatever this week. We needed that moment with Arn Anderson where he tries to do something sexy to Arn, twerking, and Arn gets caught looking, and then Arn, God damn it, and his head's out of the game too. You know what I mean? Arn's almost mad at Cody for giving into his own homophobia, but he projects like that's the underlying subtext of that moment right there, where even Arn, the old schooler, gets drawn into Sonny Kiss's sexuality and twerking. Like I wanted that right there, and I didn't get it before that happened, dude.
Would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I had a conversation about Sonny Kiss with a coworker, and we kind of like, one of my friends is there. He watches wrestling. The other guy doesn't. So we were showing him a picture of Sonny Kiss, and we were like, letting him know beforehand. Okay, we're letting you know, like, in a non-homophobic way, this man has a very nice behind, and it's not like he does a lot of squats and he's got big quads. Like, this man focuses on this butt. So you can't look away when I show it. And he was like, my God, that guy has got a nice butt. Like, I was like, right, this guy, he flaunts it.
I mean, that's the siren song. I mean, you don't want to you could build everything around it, but there should be a spot in the match. And this is what I try to kind of tell Sonny. Like, I hate because there was a lot of Sonny news with Sonny getting arrested this week on their locker room. But when I was at that UPW
Sonny
show,
WWF Hall of Fame.
Yeah. But I went over to him. I go, that twerk spot you did, because he actually worked another trans worker who's a longtime worker in Rochester, and put together a great match. And they did comedy with good old school psychology. So you would have really liked it. And I put it over. But then in the back, they're just effeminating and like doing the big show for everybody in the locker room. I was like, And I went up. I was like, dude, I liked your match, and I the twerk spot Mondo does now. That would be a cool thing to like work in there and into a couple spots like that. And Sonny was really cool to take the advice and whatnot, but then it was right back into like being on in front of the locker room, and I just kind of I can't take that. That'd be like me being Hamin, fucking screaming at everybody backstage, and I'm just like, nah. So, but the match was fucking surprisingly awesome, and this match was good too. But I don't understand why Arn and commentary was like, Cody's off tonight. Cody's off tonight. Like, what was the reason that Cody was off? You know.
Well, like there was a couple things that I could think of. Somebody pointed out on Twitter that I guess, or at some event, a press conference, that Arn Anderson mentioned Cody's next potential opponent is going to be Warhorse.
Yeah.
Because Warhorse has been making a play online and really been challenging Cody, so he got himself over. And he's also going to be in the Retromania game, which also does feature BW Stevia and will feature the Conspiracy Horsemen, so you can check that out when that comes out. But so like there could have been that. Maybe he was over, not thinking about Sonny, as a potential viable threat. Or maybe I was also thinking, he's got to defend the title, on a week-to-week basis. Maybe he's just getting tired. I don't know.
That was the theme. Hamin said it, so I got to go along. I got to play along. That was the theme to me of last night's show. How and why was Cody off? I usually praise AEW for having the best consistent storytelling in wrestling, and they've done a great job with a lot of their stories. And for the most part, I dig the stories they tell. But it seemed like all night they were reaching. What they were reaching for, I don't know.
Me either.
But there are several points that we'll get into throughout the night where I'm just asking myself, where are they going with this? And I think in a lot of cases, nowhere might be the answer. They were, instead of just telling their long-term storytelling that has been working thus far, they were just throwing some things in there that seemed to just be put in last night, not ever in previous episodes. At some points, it was a little bit mind-boggling because it was a pretty good show and great on paper, like we discussed. But that was the theme, man. It was a weird night. They were reaching for something.
A couple other things I felt bad for, because Sonny Kiss was taking awesome bumps and doing a lot of good sells. But Sonny is, because he's only been in the biz 6 years and hasn't been trained for TV, that hurt that match a lot. Cody got him in the stretch down there, had to take him all the way around 180 to get him on hard cam, and then they cut the floor cam once he finally gets in the hard cam on it. There's a couple other things where the sells off the bumps, just Sonny doesn't know where the hard cam is, that OVW training that you and I have instinctually in us, rep after rep. And there was in other matches that kind of shone through too, but especially in this one, I think that hurt this match more than anything, of not knowing where your cameras are and how to play to things.
Yeah, as we continued into the match, Cody tossed Sonny to the ramp. He delivered a pretty vicious Alabama slam, kind of the shades of some Bob Holly there. Dragged him back in the ring. He went for the pinfall, and he only got, I guess, like barely a 2.5, whatever it was. Cody is upset. He tries for the cover again, doesn't get it. Takes Sonny to the top row, hits a superplex, still doesn't get a pinfall. He starts to argue with the ref, and the commentary points out that the champ is clearly not prepared here and is doing things out of character for his usual title defenses. So do you think maybe we're starting to see shades of a whiny Cody Rhodes? He's going to turn heel here. Is this like maybe the beginning of that? That's maybe why that's the story they're trying to tell here in this match, Silvio.
That's the first thing that came to mind. So they could be going for that. I do feel they were tipping their hand a lot too. Like as soon as this started, JR was talking about how this is going to be or should be an easy win for Cody. So before the bell rang, we kind of alluded to Sonny's going to do something. We didn't know if he was going to win or if Sonny was going to do cool shit, which Sonny just ended up doing cool shit. I thought it was an interesting note too that they used the word he repeatedly. And I started listening when they talked about everyone else to say, am I just not realizing when they say it about others? But clearly the word he was used for Sonny Kiss, at least on what I saw, far more in that match than any of the other matches. So I think they were clearly trying to define, hey, this is why he's not in the women's division, because he is a he. So that was an interesting note.
It's just strange in this this contract where we have a super effeminate gay man whose sexual appeal seems very over the top feminine. That's who we call he. The super butch, less believable, less sexual female who is actually a man, we have to call she, because of this social contract. And we got to talk about the other part of this match. Sorry to cut you, Sil, because I want to get your opinion on this. Is, Cody going to bat for Sonny on the gay tip that was whatever, trolled on Twitter. And as Cody should, and stand up. But then we do this whole match of Cody seems off, whatever. And it's a pretty vicious match for a baby face that, like Sonny Kiss, that you really don't want to get a ton of heat on. You want to wrestle if you're going to do the Ring of Honor baby thing at the end, right? So we still get a stiff finish on this type of shit, camel clutch, all the whole nine, fucking whatever. But then we get the pull in at the end where Cody has to, I love you, brother. You're always going to have a spot here. No one will ever get to you, and let you know that this is a safe space. Like all the shit that we know is the egregious social justice warrior put over, then makes the match seem like it's just a gift to like appease the LGBTQ stuff, as opposed to Sonny, who can wrestle, getting an actual TNT title shot and it being meaningful that way. Does that make sense to you, Sil? I thought it was too egregious at the end.
I can see where you're coming from, and Cody's kind of, you've complained about it in the past when he does that hug spot. I remember one week you were furious because he was cradling someone's head right after the win.
Yeah.
So, he does go down that road.
And then Tama Tonga put him on blast with Marty Scurll for kissing Omega on the mouth. Nothing ever came of that weird little Twitter day.
There you go. Weirdness. I didn't like the thing that stood out to me. One of the things that stood out most, Cody did a really nice superplex and then immediately covered and had Sonny kick out. That kind of thing I don't like, because Sonny shouldn't get up and they shouldn't be teasing a superplex like that.
Cody needs to sell his back from the impact for 2 or 3 seconds, then go for the cover.
Right.
That 2 or 3 seconds why the kick out can happen, but he didn't. He just went right in, buried his own superplex.
Right. But I do have a little bit of bad news. Sonny Kiss is not ready for television. Sonny Kiss has a great gimmick and a great deal of athletic ability and a lot of potential. I don't know exactly what to do with Sonny Kiss, but I could identify there's a way to make money with Sonny Kiss. However, Sonny's transitions and a lot of the snap and intensity of Sonny's moves are very weak and phony. And I don't want you to think I'm going in hard on you or anything like that. This is constructive. A lot of the things that Sonny does in the matches, you can easily tell they're cooperative. And I don't mean like the Young Bucks level where they have these things. Like the Young Bucks do that well.
House Party was the same way last week, Sil. You're right on it. Nothing you're saying.
This is even bigger than House Party. And a lot of the strikes that Sonny does, Sonny did some great forearms in the back end of that match.
Yeah.
Everything that Sonny does needs to look as credible as that, because I haven't bought Sonny once. They've been putting him on TV. And I like the character, but every match I've seen so far, it's just glaringly phony, because I think Sonny's getting exposed before Sonny's ready for TV.
I think so too. Sorry, I just got to jump in here. Here's the other big missing piece. Where the fuck is Joey Janela at ringside? Like, we get these great promos. They're the new squad together. Here's the trolling thing. Now we want to back him up. Where's Janela to be there to do anything? The other part I think we're missing in order to protect Sonny is like no strikes until the end. And let's play into the effeminate stuff. Let Sonny do the splits and athletic thing, arm drags and whatnot. No strikes, especially if it's baby against Cody. Until Cody whatever and has to do the gold dust, slap spot. Then Sonny sells away and is like, does the like, I'm a woman, you hit me, even though it wants to be referred to as he, where it's like, we were wrestling. What happened? Why would you do that? And then Sonny turns and can start fucking strong styling people. But we're just getting things out of nowhere where they don't know the right way to put them in, to protect themselves and their character. I think there's huge money in Gold Dust Sunny Kissed vignettes.
Sure.
I mean, where he reacts as Dustin, but you get a little Gold Dust. Oh, those comedy things that way where Sonny is, and like then you could even bring back and just call them Gold Dust and put them together to do something. I think there's money with a Gold Dust reboot under a new thing with Sonny Kiss to press those old school, make you feel like, all right, let me feel something a little bit more effeminate that I'm not used to seeing on a testosterone-driven show, you know?
Sure, and like, even if Sonny is, we're doing kind of that androgynous character. Do we call him he? Do we call her she? If you take women's wrestlers, like think of like a Charlotte or a Becky or a Bailey or a Sasha, when they're in the ring, they're bringing it. Like their stuff still looks real. They're feminine as hell, but they still look like they can beat you up.
Yeah.
That's the key we're missing with Sonny. Sonny don't look like that he can beat you up, except for on this.
I don't know if he needs to. Sonic the Hedgehog in here is perfect. And this is I might have said this same thing to Sonny, something similar. Sonny should have twerked on Cody when he had him in the full Nelson, because they're putting over Taz. Full Nelson, brother. That's it. It's hard movie, simple. Go back to basics, easy to get out of, or not easy to get out of. And then Sonny twerks, and it's the gay thing of, whoa, let me just break this hold. That's the game that Sonny needs to play out. Sure, we don't want to go to. I mean, we worked with a guy, rest his soul, Sweet Stevie, who was a gay male stripper and a good worker, but he would do all that stuff. Get a guy in the corner on the arm, go over on the arm wringer, throw his leg over, and then wipe his crotch on the guy's arm like a stripper pole, dude. Like, and then the guy pull his arm out. What the fuck? And Sweet Stevie just wave at him or what have you. You know what I mean? We don't got to go that far with Sonny. We can come up with innovative spots that are ass spots. And dude, if you're in a full Nelson and you can't get out of it, twerk, fuck with the guy's head a little bit of his own, like, what are you making me look like I'm doing here? And he lets go. That's, no one else on the card can do that spot. Why wouldn't you fucking want to do it and be different than anybody else? That's where we need to find out the game and play it out in order to protect Sonny, because straight up working matches where they need to bump, sell to the camera, you're right. They're not ready, buddy.
And they could do those things. They just have to figure out how to make them palatable in 2020, because some of the shit you could get away with 10 years ago, you couldn't today.
Sure.
So you just got to kind of figure out, how do we balance that now with today's landscape. Oh, the full Nelson thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Taz is talking about good to back days of Greco wrestling folk style. That's an illegal hold. Taz, you know that. You can't fucking full Nelson. I wrestled for, 12 years or something ridiculous.
You get half, but yeah, they did a half later. But Master
Lock
Lock,
hands,
right?
you're out of there.
Right.
Sorry.
So the conclusion of this match, we see Cody removing the corner turnbuckle, which draws the frustration of Arn Anderson.
Yeah, that's weird.
Sonny drop kicks him right into the unprotected turnbuckle, rolls him up, and then nearly wins it until Sonny screams at Cody to get up, starts to throw heavy right hands, and then Cody ducks a spinning back fist, hits the crossroads, and picks up the victory. So the winner of this match, and still your champion, is Cody Rhodes.
And not bad, just a strange night.
Not at all.
A strange, like, okay.
Yeah.
Not bad. I felt kind of in an alternate universe at points, so watching it.
It was Indy versus OVW. Cody had a lot of work to get Sonny into the right spots for TV there. I was watching it,
And that vertebraker on the head, Jesus.
No thanks.
So we go to the next match, FTR taking on the Lucha Brothers here. No, I didn't get everything here because these guys went back and forth and all over. But, they set up for a few times to get started with some double team moves, double team Cash Wheeler to get the action started, actually, by knocking Dax off the apron with the drop kicks. Then they set it up for a few times, shaking out the cobwebs, kind of feeling each other out. Eventually hit a flipping wheelbarrow splash combo. Both teams then fought to the outside. We went to the commercial. Came back from break. Dax hit the hot tag, delivering a series of stiff suplexes to the Lucha Bros. He blocked an arm drag for Phoenix and flying with a back belly to release suplex, followed with the sliding lariat to the back of the neck. In comes Cash for a little retribution. This goes on and on, guys. At the conclusion of the match, we see Pentagon hitting a sling blade, taking Dax to the apron. They trade punches, countering the power driver attempts on the edge of the ring. Dax then actually recovered, does a top soap suicida, turning it into a tornado DDT on the outside. And then Phoenix fall out of nowhere with a huge splash, taking everybody down. Lucha Bros fought back to the ring, but Cash shocked everyone by ripping off Phoenix masks and rolling up for the victory. 1, 2, 3. Your winners of this match was FTR. Of course, there was some stuff that went on after the match that we can get into here. But
that's
what
not
did you
the stuff. That's the business. This match was meaningless.
Okay.
Like Phoenix big chops. Like there's some impressive shit in here, no doubt, to get your shit in. But they come out in fucking FTR's truck with Butcher and Blade and Penta and Phoenix in there. So the whole business is that, look at that truck that they showed up in. Those guys stole it. It's Grand Theft Auto, but they've got the balls to roll up here. Then Butcher and Blade stand there with a camera on them the whole time, just waiting for, here we go, we're coming, cut back. So Pepper can fucking do that. Then we come back, the Bucks sneak in behind them, hit them with with a super kick each. They're dead. Unlike every match we've ever seen where Bucks hit you with one and you're back up in 5 seconds. Bucks take the keys to go to give the revival. Omega comes down with a beer to make up for last week. Then the revival heals on him right there, and Omega just takes him, pouring beer over the top of his head. No retribution. They snatch the keys from the Bucks and fucking go to take their truck that was stolen. They just let 4 other wrestlers ride around in his classic restored truck, apparently for 2 weeks. What the fuck is going on with this creative? You have ruined the top Mexican tag team who can do things that no other tag team on the planet can do. You had the number 1 shooter tag team with the best strikes in tag team wrestling and a whole internet elite fuck the revival thing that was built for 2 years to pay off of them being the Hall and Nash outsiders that you fucking needed them to be. And now they're just marking out for the boys, showing that we're the boys and we're over at the top level. Then you do a fake fucking Vice City truck fucking stealing gimmick, and then JR is ribbing Butcher and Blade for standing there looking like they just got off the fucking boat from swabbing the deck in sailor outfits, or being the baker fucking making sure the muffins are ready for the morning, dude. This was the biggest waste of time, talent, and what the fuck storyline. I could not believe how lowbrow this was for all the players involved. And Omega just sits there and takes the shit. Unbelievably bad booking. Unbelievably bad.
All right. Well, before you jump in, Silvio, I'll break it down, that last part, just to further again. Pentagon and the officials jumped on Phoenix after the match and shielded his face from the cameras.
Oh, yeah. And we do a lucha mask pull spot, the biggest thing of the match, of what it should be, from babies who should be like not getting heel heat like that on those fucking guys, dude. Like a mask pull is a whole angle in itself unto that, a whole heater thing under that, and it was just like cause of the finish. In Mexico, you'd be disqualified for that. Well, okay.
So the Butcher and the Blade are shown yelling from the crowd until the Young Bucks walk behind them. As you mentioned, they delivered their super kicks. Kenny Omega and the Bucks then come out to the ring, and Omega has a cooler. They get in the ring. He offers them the beer. They toast, and then before they drink, FTR pours the beer over Kenny's head. Kenny Omega initiates. He tries to get aggressive, but the Bucks hold him back. And that was just weird. And then it got really weird from a production standpoint, where you saw FTR in that car for like 15 seconds on that shot of them trying to start the car before they went to commercial break. I was like, what is going on here?
This shit is not live. How is this making it to TV if it's not live, dude? Like if we were to watch that in post, I'd go, Sil, we got a lot of editing to do here. Truck spot gets cut. Let's forget about the Buck spot. Let's just go with the lucha finish. Then afterwards, after they pour the beer on them, they powder out of the ring. They got to walk up the steps across, walk back down to go out to the truck entrance too. So everybody just looks completely buried, stupid. Nobody's cool here, which is unbelievable because the Young Bucks and Omega are cool as shit. FTR should be the catalyst. And then the Mexicans fucking Cerro Miedo. Well, apparently they're scared as shit of getting their mask ripped off. So, hey, everybody buried. Couldn't have done worse business, in my opinion.
All right, Silvio, try to give us a positive spin on this.
Okay, so it took a little bit of time to get in the groove of this match. I don't know if it was a styles clash, but we did see early on some, choppy offense. And one of them was just shit that happens. Like the Lucha Brothers got caught up on each other trying to do the Quesadilla splash spot. And that's just shit that's going to happen. I did really like the back end of the match. it looked like they started to click towards the back end. We had some cool spots like the one where Phoenix went for a Rana and the bigger of the FTR picked him up in a power bomb position while Dax did a Steiner Bulldog off the top. They had
I thought that was
cool
the finish. I thought that might have been the finish right there because it did look good, dude.
Yeah, it was awesome. We had another cool spot where Dax catches him into a backbreaker position and brother jumps over the top rope and elbows him. So a lot of cool stuff. I just wanted a bigger build to these two because I look at these two teams and say, man, these guys could have a barn burner, like build it. I didn't want it thrown in cold. But I got to say it, like, I can't argue with you on this one. I mean, I feel like the Revival, they're talented. I love them. They should have more.
Yep.
They've just cut the Revival's balls off. Like, they walk out and the guys are over there in the truck and they go to the ring. Okay, I can rationalize that by saying they got a job to do, so they're not going to fall for that, right? But after the match, they're not over there running to go get the thing. So after the match, they're staying in the ring like that invisible barrier with Butcher and Blade waving. And I'm just saying, why are they standing there? And then on my notes next to it, I go, oh, that's why. So the Young Bucks could do the little creep up and super kick, come in and hand him the key. And Omega comes in with the Arn Anderson cooler as a rib, which was funny to me. And then gets the beer, but then doesn't do anything to him. But why did they pour the beer on them? And then why did they leave? And they were still friends with. It's just mind-boggling. What are they? Are they heels? Are they baby faces?
These are your top guys, your executive vice presidents who should have full creative control and vision of where they want their characters to go. And this is the furthest, I feel this segment is the furthest thing from any vision for anybody where they're like, this is what we need to be in 2020, dude.
Are there politics, do you think, involved here? I mean, do you think that Jim Cornette podcast played any effect backstage with how people, viewed FTR and now there's a different trajectory for this story?
Could be, yeah. And I think, too, I could see them having trouble putting this match together, knowing how passionate FTR is about tag team wrestling, the way they think it should be. And the Lucha Brothers, who are the exact opposite, I could see some headbutting trying to put that match together. So that was kind of an interesting note. I know what they're doing. They're trying to build to this match and stretch it out, which is cool. But I don't know why they're choosing to do it this way. By the time they're done, nobody's going to want to see the match. Like, this angle is terrible, and I don't say things like that.
The only thing that I hope that comes out of all this, I don't know. It's kind of confusing because you have, and we'll get into it later with Hangman and Kenny's dynamic too, and all this as well. Because is one heel, is one face, is one going to turn heel, is the other one going to turn heel? It's a little confusing.
Questions.
Yeah. Well, let's get to what I think was one of the highlights of AEW though was Chris Jericho. He comes out as the Inner Circle in an incredible white suit coat. Bare-chested and everything, looking like his hair looking luscious. Le Champion leads Santana Ortiz and Jake Hager to the ring. They all have gallons of orange juice as well. Jericho brags about having one of the greatest matches in AEW history. He rambles on. So at first, I was not on board with him talking about the demographics because he's like, well, last week, we won in the 18 to 49 demographics. And I was like, oh, great. He's still going on about this demographics. But then he turned into, I'm the demo god. And I was like, okay, bravo. I like that. You integrated it within your promo so I can get on board now. He says he understands the concept of drawing money better than anyone else. Cassidy wants a rematch, and because of those numbers, everyone at AEW and even the network wants it, but he says that's not going to happen. He says you should go home, hug your best friends, and remember what it was like to be a main eventer for one night. Takes a drink of orange juice, pours one out for Orange Cassidy. Cassidy eventually does come out, doesn't say anything, but Chris Jericho calls him lazy, spoiled, entitled, and then he proved that he can go last week. They're just not on the same level. Called him a stupid. Tells him to take his stupid sunglasses and stick them up his ass. Which at this point, Orange Cassidy sticks up his hand for the thumbs up, turns it upside down, and in I guess you might say a ode to Mike Mondo and the Spirit Squad crew, we see gallons of orange juice flooded from the rafters all over the Inner Circle. And the best rib about all this is Jericho then had to be in orange juice the rest of the night. Chris Silvio, what did you think of this?
Jericho had to know that was coming,
Yeah,
and
of
he
course.
wouldn't have agreed to it if he didn't want to do it. So that was a very interesting call. Content of the promo was fine. It's Jericho being a heel. I got to go in on Le Champion a little bit here. He's the GOAT, and I love him. He's fucking amazing at what he does. But it seemed to me like when they said the thing about, well, yeah, they might have won this, but not in the demo. It seems like if I were to lose a match, like a real match to Hamin, and then I say, yeah, he beat me, but, I had been sick for the week before. So, like, I'm taking away from Hamin's loss. I don't think NXT really did that. Of all the weeks they were getting their asses kicked, they said that comment about this being a marathon, not a sprint. But outside of that, I don't think I heard much from the NXT camp picking apart why they were losing. So it seemed kind of a little petty to me that, they lose in the big numbers and they want to make it clear that they're not losing. That was a little bit weird.
Well, I mean, to Ben's point on that, that's corporate jargon, right? I mean, that's
Right.
somebody who's pinpointing something to highlight them while, devaluing in the overall aspect of viewers itself by saying, hey, we're winning in this advertising realm, which is very important to us and our network subscribers. I mean, that's their narrative, I guess they're trying to push.
And it was a funny segment, and it came across looking hilarious when Ortiz is swimming in it. But I think everybody watching likened it to the WWE Spirit Squad spot or something from WWE. So in that landscape, when AEW really wants to set themselves apart, that was a very WWE-esque segment. Good, bad, or not, it was a WWE segment.
Yeah, it was like, I think it would have been cool maybe if, I don't know, if they had done this at the end of the show, they could have done something really unique. Maybe like the ring drops below and they drop into orange juice, like a gallon of like a giant like pool of orange juice. Like, I think that would have been unique and it wouldn't have been as cliche as the dropping. And that's something we've never seen. But now I'm just really thinking outside the box rather than the cliche dropping from the sky. Ben, what did you think of this?
Jericho is now a parody of what Jericho is, where you know what's coming. Unfortunately, and I agree, he's the best of all time. But this whole spot was like, there's going to be a waka waka here, and then they ratchet it up with the towel and they step it up, and Buddy's down there doing the swim thing and kind of pulling focus. But I was like, if you're going to do it, go ever. He should have gone over to his that was Ortiz on the ground, right? And he should have gone over to Santana to get him up, and he grabs him by the shorts and he pulls down Santana's shorts and shows ass that way and pulls him down. And Santana starts to go back and he grabs fucking Jericho, and then Hager trips, whatever. But like, there's some funny commitments to the bit. I get it. You're gonna go through and do it. It absolutely was the squad bit, from the swimming on the ground to the beer, the Austin, whatever the fuck, same stuff. So everybody who recognizes that is going to admit. Now, if you're a new little kid and that's the first time you ever saw it, it's going to be awesome to you, I imagine, especially if you like Orange Cassidy and that shit. Here's the problem, though, is they overexposed Jericho after this. You just got all that dumped on you. You're sticky as a motherfucker. Bees and ants are looking for you, the whole nine. Are you going to go sit on commentary for the rest of the show and do, I'm still irate, he did that to me? Like, you're killing the heat of that moment by overexposing him. Do you need him on commentary because Shivani's not there? Yeah, he's great. But to do both, now you're splitting focus. Now it's, for him to keep telling that story, it makes him look stupid to go over there. Le Champion has to get his shit in on commentary. Dude, he should be, hitting the showers after that. So it just lessened the moment by keeping him out there.
They're in Daly's place. They could have gone and jumped in a pool, and then he could have gotten on commentary, right?
Maybe, I don't know,
I
anything.
just don't understand why. Like, why did they have him get put in orange juice to go sit on commentary?
He's never going to give him a match again. I'm never going to give you a match again. That's it. I'll dump orange juice on you. Now I'm so enraged that I can't wait to get my hands on you. That's how Khan is thinking.
Man, I'm just thinking he just got to put Jericho up on a platform like a dunk tank and have the orange juice under it, and he falls in. That would have been amazing. I don't know.
Let's stick with the next match. Maybe it's an orange juice basket of death match.
Orange juice basket of death match. All right. Well, Yeah, so Orange Cassidy is apparently going to be getting a rematch. They do announce later on the night that, or I guess immediately in the next segment, because Chris Jericho is now out on commentary, all sticky as we mentioned, and he says he's gonna get his rematch. Like, so I guess that was it. All he had to do was pour a bunch of orange juice on Jericho, and now he's gonna get his rematch.
Does AEW Shop Zone have a clearance section yet, or no? Because I know like 4 months from now, I might get one of those towels for Russo for Christmas.
Well, I know that I guess everything last night that was on sale was going towards Fight for the Fallen. But
yeah, I don't believe that shit.
You don't believe that shit? 100% of the proceeds. Right,
I know. Here's what I know about wrestling and fucking charity shows. It's usually a fucking work for the promoter to steal money, whether it's from animals, people, fucking people with diseases, at every level. So when I see these things, I go, okay, free money. Yeah, sure, because no one's going to clock it, and they're going to get all the noble edge effect of, look how great we are helping our community, but let's see the real receipts. Let's see what was fucking brought in and what was donated and the payoff and the check and then the money applied. We do these little things like, see, wrestling, I believe in it, and I did my part for Farm Aid, COVID, whatever the fuck. I've seen so many people be stolen from. That why would I believe that the same thing's not going on?
There's an infamous story of a promoter. I'll say his name. Burt Prentice. He had a show where allegedly Burt had cancer. I don't know if he did or didn't, but he had a benefit show for himself to raise money for his cancer. And he had these shirts that they were selling that said, like, Save Burt. So the workers on the show, Burt told him, hey, I'm going to take $20 out of each of your pay to go towards buying one of these shirts. And I just remember a couple of my friends were on the card and they were hot about it. And then they never got the shirts. So it's always been a rib between us, like the Save Burt shirts. And we don't know, we never found out if he lived. But those are the kind of odd things that happen in wrestling. The benefit show where you don't know where the money goes, and then even the boys' pay is going to it.
And cats and dogs can't hunt you down from the SPCA and be like, dude, where's the money?
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot of shady shit all the time.
Well, the 6-man tag team match is up next. We have the Elite, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks taking on Jurassic Express, Marco Stunt, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus. Prior to that, there was a backstage interaction where they were interviewing Luchasaurus, and Marco Stunt was laughing over the fact that Chris Jericho was covered in orange juice. That was pretty funny. But interestingly enough, during this match, they did go backstage showing Hangman Page having a beer or drinking with FTR. So that's where I'm getting, that's what's just confusing. It's like, if it'd be like if Ben was tagging with Silvio and all of a sudden somebody poured beer all over Ben, but then Silvio was hanging out backstage, working out with the guy who poured beer over him. You know what I mean? It would just be a weird thing.
He'd do it just to laugh at me.
Yeah. Okay. Jericho called it out too. He goes, why are they friends?
Yeah.
Yep, he did. And then JR had to, or I think it was Excalibur had to cover. Well, they're drinking buddies. He had to cover for him there. But I get that's part of the gimmick, and that's why I think that Hangman's going to end up with FTR. I mean, if anybody needs to go anywhere, those three should go together and let Hangman be the leader.
Do what? Have their nuts cut off together and all be marginalized. Because, well, I think that's the story. Here's the story we're trying to tell, is that he will go that way because there's already the odd couple between him and Omega. They fucking shit on Omega. Then you're going to get Elite versus them. So that's the dividing line. So they're forcing the hand of fucking that. That's the simple creative, obviously, with that vignette follow-up. I'm not trying to say duh or anything like that, but like, yeah, sure, alcoholics, beer. We're all Stone Cold Steve Austin. Cool guys, born again Christian, new age thinker, Japanese guy, put them together. That's just the line, bro. Easy story, but it's not really that gripping. Like nobody has any teeth in anything. Somebody can steal your fucking $50,000 redone truck for 2 weeks, and you're not gonna fucking do shit about it.
They couldn't even start it.
What's that disease called? Is it leprosy?
What's that? Where your shit falls off you?
It's like a bad like a terrible degenerative disease.
Yeah.
It's like that's what the FTR has right now.
Yeah.
Like Hangman would want to keep as much distance as possible, and I think anyone right now, other than Butcher and Blade, who get to be featured in high-profile matches, right now, like you almost don't want to touch them as good as they are, just because the angle's so wacky.
Well, Jungle Boy starts things off with Nick Jackson going counter for counter with Nick Jackson. I'm sorry. So Marco Stunt then tags in, comes face to face Kenny Omega. They lock up. Omega throws him into the mat. Stunt runs the ropes and surprises with an arm drag, drop kick, head scissors. And then Omega bigs off in the corner, takes his shirt off. Then Luchasaurus tags in, nearly knocks Matt's head off with a spin kick. Drax Express did a 3-on-1 combo to Matt that included about, I guess, it was like 10 different moves, guys. I don't know. I couldn't keep track of every move here. It was like 10 different consecutive moves by all three. But then Jungle Boy hit a springboard tornado DDT on Nick Jackson. We go to commercial, come back. Luchasaurus is now taking the Elite 1-on-3, takes everyone out with lariats. He ducks a double super kick and then hits them both spin kick. Roundhouse kick to Omega, goes for a choke slam on the mat, but only gets a 2 count. And then toward the latter half of this match, Kenny Omega was rallying here. He nearly took Marco Stunt's head off of that V-trigger. And then Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy took V-triggers as well. He set up for the one-wing angle, but then Stunt rolled through into a small package. Omega kicked out, destroyed him with a V-trigger, set him up again for the one-wing angel because, of course, in Kenny Omega's world, you don't win on the first try, you get it on your second try. And that's when he got his victory. So the winner of this match was the Elite. Before Ben goes, Silvio, what did you think of this match?
It was a spectacle. I'll say this from like a physical standpoint, it was a hell of a match. They did a lot of cool moves, some great spots. They did some crazy trio sequence where people are flying. I couldn't even write everything down, but it looked really cool. And it capped off with one of the Bucks kicking Marco Stunt in the head while he was doing that flossing dance. We had some out-of-this-world spots. The thing, they really got Marco highlighted on this one. They had him on the floor, on the arena floor, and by each arm, his partners pulled him into the ring to Hurricane Rana somebody. That's like a 7-foot leap. I don't know how his arm didn't come out of socket, but that was crazy impressive. And then we had that insane Canadian Destroyer spot, kind of trying to top last week. Last week we were like, that might be the craziest spot we've ever seen. This one, they kind of threw Marco up onto the pile and had him Canadian Destroyer Matt Jackson, who was like on somebody's shoulders or something like that. Just craziness, like all kinds of nutty moves and some cool exchanges. I dug it. But again, when it started reaching and getting in this muddy water was Kenny Omega. He was acting like a heel at the beginning. He was trying to punk Marco. Then Marco embarrassed him. And we see Kenny on his ass backpedaling. Then it all comes around. In the finish, he beats Marco. But then he goes to work on him after the bell. And we're seeing a heel out of Kenny who's always been the bright baby face. Like, are they trying to trick us? Like, is Hangman about to turn and they're trying to swerve us?
That's a problem, right? Because why is he getting heat when Hangman needs to be the one to turn? We need to be like, why would you do that on Kenny? Kenny's neutral good with the Bucks and da-da-da-da. Instead, he gets fired up. Like, again, this is where...
Earlier, he didn't hit FTR when he poured beer. Okay, so Marco can piss you off, but brother pours beer on your head, and you're going to say calm about that?
So yeah, after the match, she continues to punch Marco in the face until the Bucks then stop him, and then the teams have a stare down. Go ahead.
He laughs about it.
Yeah.
He acts like he's over it and then laughs.
These flying Garbanzo brothers spots are just, you just hear fucking Jericho and them like going, come on, dude, stop fucking up our wrestling. Everything that just takes so long to set up. There's some things that work good. The head scissors on the outside to Nick, the other one, then the head scissors, and then he comes up and then they give it that I liked, but like, let's get up into the cheerleader pyramid to get this spot while you stand there so we can get, now you fucked your whole match. And the Elite should not be pulling that amount of time with Lucha House Party, Source, Face, whatever. You know what I mean? They fucking they can let that guy get his shine, but they still got to go over Strongs. They're way more over than those guys. I get they want to make them, but that's the problem. Omega and the Bucks are stars. These guys are indie nothings that are getting a shine because they're on the show with you, not because they should be competing at a 50-50 level. they need to be outquicked, out that kind of stuff, and just outclassed. Marco can get those little spots in and you cut him off right away, but then letting him come back and do other shit is wrong to me, man, especially to set up for the fucking Canadian Destroyer whip wop whoop.
I would say, in fairness, from a overall mainstream perspective, let's say from a non-wrestling fan, I think that Luchasaurus, aka Judas, is probably bigger than any of them, just because of his time on Big Brother and being on national TV. Like, he's got more of a name to as far as the casual audience. But I think from a wrestling perspective, you're right. Omega, obviously, and the Bucks are totally more over, right? Did you guys think that we are gonna now get Kenny Omega turning heel? I mean, is that what it's going towards, Silvio? I mean,
I don't know, and that's why last night's show seemed like it was from an alternate universe. I don't know why they did that business. And a thing that they are doing to make them different, like they do stand out from WWE. Like WWE gets the criticism that they don't make anybody. AEW makes everyone.
Yeah, so, that's the problem, right?
Yeah, Marco was an animal. Dude, he was a machine.
Should be just taking Spike Dudley bumps, just death bumps, to where he gets fed up again. You throw him like pizza dough until it's the very last thing you think he's down and out, and then it's just about to be one, and out of nowhere he comes as the catalyst, so Big Lucha Man can do his fucking thing. But they don't have the idea down yet.
Brothers taking V-triggers and shit and then rolling people up. Like,
what the fuck?
Tough, man.
Yeah, that was in the Sonny Kiss matches, dude. The roll-ups that Sonny did were Cody's jaw jacking with the ref, and like Sonny's waiting for him to take a step backwards to roll him up instead of just going and getting him. That's where you're 100% right. Sonny's not ready for TV, bro. Really not even ready for dark if you're fucking doing that kind of stuff.
Good for Marco, though, man. Like, if I were him, I would have been pumped. Oh, you want me to do all that? Sweet.
He listened to you. He's in the gym. He's looking good, and now he can beat anybody's ass that he wants. So he can jump 7 feet. Motherfucker.
Oh, JR got pissed at the pyramid, too. He just said, that is just a dangerous move.
I did not like it.
Before we jump into this next match here, Silvio, did you see that Brian Pillman Jr. and Brian Cage had a match on AEW Dark, I guess this last week, for the FTW title?
I'll be right back.
I didn't see the match, but I saw that roll across the screen.
Gotcha. So I brought this up on Impact yesterday. Do you think that's smart of them to continue to utilize Brian Pillman Jr. in this capacity? You know, he's put Spears over now. He's put Brian Cage over now. I understand that maybe he doesn't have the biggest gravitas within in the industry itself, but his name does, hold weight and value with the wrestling fan, no?
This is one of those wrestling things, which is why wrestling is such a weird business. And it's not a business that's based off of merit, and it's not always a business that's based off of talent. I see this from an educated standpoint. What this was is Pillman reaching out and saying, hey, I want a shot. And them saying, well, we don't have anything for you, but you can come to Dark. And they're testing him, seeing if he's going to put these guys over. It could be because somebody has a grudge against Pillman. It could be because there was a little heat with MLW. Remember when they were kind of using each other's talent and then something happened? So it could be that because he's an MLW guy. Or it could just be that they don't think he's ready yet and want to prove himself. But it's definitely a wrestling thing. Like, he reached out, so they were like, okay, we'll see how bad you want it, whether they intend to use him in the future or not.
Okay, good point. Ben already gave his feedback yesterday, and so did Ted, so we can move on to this next match that I didn't even realize was coming on. Like, I walked out of the room. I didn't realize Brandy Rhodes and Allie were in a match, so I had to look this up because I saw the end of it. I guess the Nightmare Sisters won with a reverse DDT, and now they're 4-0, I think. Did you follow this match, Silvio?
Yeah. I didn't know that they were sisters. That kind of took me by surprise.
Well, Allie's dating QT, who's got COVID, apparently, so that's why he's not there.
I wonder how her husband feels about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, on television. I don't know.
Oh, well.
That's another thing, though, like when we talk about stuff that happens on Being the Elite and Dark, like, I think they're showing that whole build on AEW Dark with this Nightmare Sisters. Follow that show closely, so I don't know a lot of the stuff. But it was fine. I mean, I thought Dustin helped prepare them very well. They did some cool offense that was crisp. I don't think Brandy was overexposed. I don't think Cherry Bomb was overexposed. Cherry's an experienced worker. She can go. I I was surprised at how good Brandy looked in this one. It was just a short, sweet get over match. I don't know why it's on the pay-per-view, but it was, it's good for them. And the girls doing the job did well. They were there for what they needed to be, and it was what it was. It was a get over match.
MJ Jenkins and Kenzie Page, just to make sure we
odd usage of Jenkins. It goes back to my same thing about Pillman. Hey, we don't have anything for you, but if you want to do this, that seems like the same thing to me because she was an NXT wrestler.
Was she? I wasn't familiar with her.
Yeah, she was one of the people that got cut in the massive firings.
Oh, so she hit her 30 days and she had
And that's, I could see them kind of digging at NXT a little bit with that too.
Sure, why not?
Come on, we'll beat you.
Yeah, you can probably get her super cheap. The match was actually good for a get over for green girls with not working together a lot. And weird thing that Dustin wouldn't raise the hand at the end of Cherry because I don't know, whatever. I mean, here we are again in the 5th restart and Brandy is wrestling, dude. Is she Miss Elizabeth? No. Now she's this and another phony thing with the bunny who's now the girlfriend of the buddy of the guy who's the top dude. What are we doing? What are we doing? Women's tag division? We don't even have a women's championship division. Like we don't like that division's destroyed, and we're worrying about getting the wives over on some get over talent to go against who? To pay off how? Why are we even doing this?
I can't answer those.
Me neither. And there's all the whys of this show. I do not get it.
Good questions. Well, Nyla Rose has an answer for her declaration from last week on who she's going to target or who she's brought out now as her brand new manager, which I think this was great for her. Dasha tries to interview her, asking if there's any update on who Nyla's manager is. Nyla grabs the mic and says she does things on her own time, and then all of a sudden you hear, "Excuse me," and we hear Vicky Guerrero come out. And, she gets to the ring, puts the AEW's women's locker room on notice, warning them not to get in their way. The AEW World Championship, that being the women's, is coming back to the Native Beast, and they'll take it whenever they decide the time is right. I was like, this is great. I totally forgot about putting over Vicky last week. We were going over the potential managers. But, great call. And, Vicky Guerrero is apparently blacklisted already for showing up and doing a previous AEW event. So, fuck it. Why not make money with AEW then?
She should put that over. That's an easy, good shot for her to take. People love Vicky Guerrero because of what she's done in her family legacy. Absolutely. And as a heel manager, perfect for Nyla Rose. I think this is a good pairing. She killed it. And even when I first see that thing, Cougar, instantly we're talking sex. I want to see not just her help Nyla Rose in as many ways possible, but when Sammy Guevara comes back, that she pursues Sammy Guevara and he has to teach her about on-the-job sexual harassment training along those lines. I think there's a lot where she tries to make him the boy toy like Ziggler, and now that he's been through sensitivity training, we could fucking do some very funny and magical things that way.
I think she should be going after Hangman too, and then one night Hangman has too many beers, and then we do the scene of him waking up the next morning.
Why not, dude? Why not? Why not? He's got to get out. He's got to get out of there. And then you pan back even further, and Guevara's on the other side. She got them both. Right? That's how you reveal in the whole fucking scene.
Hell of a promo.
Yeah.
Now Hangman and Sammy Guevara the following week walking each other by in the hallway, not wanting to talk to each other.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to get by him. He goes, "Excuse me," and the other guy just fucking stands up. Get her shit over, man. There's plenty to do there if we're gonna push the boundaries of wrestling and have some fun, dude. I'm glad for her though. That was one of my career highlights on the Indies, getting to be able to be managed by her at Blitz and then getting beat by the Brooklyn Brawler. Like, what the fuck else could I ask for in that night? You know what I mean?
This might be kind of open them up a little bit to criticism though by doing another thing that is very WWE. I mean, Vicky's as WWE as it gets. I like the promo and her being there, but with some of the things we saw last night, and like you talk about all the time, Hamin, of them bringing in this guy and this guy and this guy, I think that could open them up to some criticism.
Well,
That's fair.
that's just eating your words. And if you're in the red, so be it. All your morals and shit go out the window when the people putting you on TV renew and they say, yeah, but we want this guy and we want you to go this way. It was fun getting it kicked off the ground with your friends who were the librarians and the skeleton luchas and everything else, but we're going another way. And believe me, they'll go, yeah, we will.
Hybrid 2.0 skeleton
Yeah,
luchas.
where the
That's
fuck
funny.
is Hybrid 2.0? Are they in that basement with Pac?
Dude, they were doing stuff on, like I said, on Being the Elite. Like over the last one, they did 2 segments where they were going like by TH2, and maybe they're wrestling on Dark. I'm not sure. I'm not watching.
No, I don't
But
believe
that's Speaking of Being the Elite, you brought that up on this week, which they had no, you saw no physical appearance or vignette by MJF or Matt Hardy on this whole show. They interacted on Being the Elite, and they did it really funny where MJF is walking down the hallway with Wardlow behind him, and we get Money Matt. So we have an interaction between Money Matt and MJF.
I like that.
And it was great. It ends the scene with, Matt flashing his money like, dude, I got more money than you. I don't care about that stupid ring and blah, blah, blah. And, so it was a great interaction. I liked that. And they also had some more funny stuff with the Dark Order on there with them trying to recruit more people. That's been the highlight for me of Being the Elite recently is the Dark Order guys trying to recruit people, trying to get people to drink the Kool-Aid. It's been good stuff. That's really been the highlight of that. But let's get into
advertised it too. Did you notice that?
They did. They finally did advertise it. Hey, go to Being the Elite and keep up with their show every Monday at noon. And now they're advertising the actual time it drops. So before we get into the AEW World Championship match, also just want to plug our sponsors. Go check out thebrosters.com for your Russo Bro coffee, as well as check out StevieRichardsFitness.com. You can check out ProWrestlingTees.com/BWO Stevie Ben Hamin SEG shirts and Greek God Papadon. And you can also check out ZordosOliveOil.com. You can go on Facebook or you can just Google Chris Silvio's Superstar Seminars and link out with him. And you can also check out my show, Suck My Balls Podcast, South Park Review. Okay, AEW World Championship match. Jon Moxley, Brian Cage, Taz. Moxley hits the ring. They begin to brawl immediately. The champ whips Cage in the corner, runs into a giant clothesline. Cage takes him into the corner, sets in with a huge clubbing lariat, chests over and over again. And then Mox tries to go in after his arm, but he gets hoisted up and tossed overhead like a sack of flour. I will say that at least Mox did try to tell the story throughout this match that he was targeting that arm, and that comes into play in the finish. But these two guys did go back and forth. They gave these guys, I want to say 20 minutes, because it was like 6:35, 6:36 when they were getting entrances. So they had to have been at least 20 minutes, because after commercial break, both guys are now brawling outside the ring. They both try to suplex each other. Moxley ends up going through a setup of a chair after Cage reverses his suplex attempt. He calls for the drill claw, gets rolled up for a near fall. Champ ends up in the corner, goes for another near fall, but charges into a power slam. Cage then goes to the top rope and actually tries for a moonsault, but crashes and burns. That was kind of scary to see. Then now the conclusion of the match, very interesting. So Taz throws in the towel, guys, as Mox is putting Brian Cage in different submission moves. I think he had one of my hand him in the Kimura, kind of in like an inverted STF or without the crossface, just an arm bar. He snapped him back into another arm bar, locked in the submission, and then Cage began to scream out in pain as Taz threw in the towel. So the winner of this match was Jon Moxley, but then afterwards, Cage starts attacking Mox with the FTW belt until Darby Allin comes out and makes this save.
Lights went out first.
Yeah, lights went out first. I'm sorry. And then Darby Allin comes out with his skateboard. He takes out Cage and then Cage is being held back on the entrance ramp with Mox and Darby in the ring as we go off the air. Very weird ending. Silvio, what would you think?
I mean, when those lights went out, who did your mind go to? Who did you think was going to come out?
Stinger.
Me too.
Especially with Bischoff in my mind, and then, all right, Darby for what happened at the, ladder match or whatever it was that they had. We haven't really seen him since then, so it made sense. But they told the story because Mox put it over in the promo of the repaired arm, so he went at it. So I didn't mind him getting heel heat on the arm because he did what he had to do to keep the big giant down. Then the big giant's doing moonsaults and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? So, where they went, but then they throw in the towel. Here's another big man property. You just fucked him. You just buried him. You just lowered his value, because if you were doing that, let him sell, get out of the ring, and fucking him and Taz leave. You leave. Mox got his heat, even though that's a heel thing to do, but they got rid of him. Instead, we get the FTW title, get the heat back on him. Now let's kill that by doing lights up, lights down, overbooking it, and obviously we bring back Darby, to do the big shot there. Okay, we've double buried it again. That means he should sell out of the ring holding his neck, and Taz gets him to the back with his arm and neck now. Instead, he fucking hulks up for another minute on the outside trying to get back in the ring while just a ref and somebody else holds Brian Cage back. Yeah, okay. You need a team of horses to hold Brian Cage back if you wanted to get in there to fuck somebody up. So, like, he's going to put over all this heat, and they're going to protect him from his arm getting blown out, but he's fine to come back in and kick your ass over and over again, dude. Again, why? Why this finish? It just does not make sense. If anything, it should have been Cage up 80% of the match. Every time he's about to do something, Moxley can get out of it by doing a hangman on his arm, working on the arm slightly. But really, what it should have been is Cage working on Moxley's arm, so when the retribution comes, it's way more believable, and the surgery is more believable than that, because he had him in the fucking finish with the arm bar. They throw in the towel, and he's like, oh shit, but I'm ready to fight for another 3 or 4 minutes? Well, which is it? Is your arm fucking blown? Or are you ready to go, big man? Just why on almost every segment of this show, man?
So JC, big sports fan, brings something up that I was going to bring up here. A couple things. One, Cage no-sold the submission right after the match, right? Mox worked over that whole arm for the match, and then immediately, as soon as the match was up, got right up and pick up the belt. So that was interesting. And then the other thing and they did say this in the promo. Darby said that he hadn't forgot about Cage. Now, I at some point expected Darby to come back. Would it have made more sense for Darby to just cost Cage?
Well, we forgot about Darby. Yeah, it would have been way better for Darby to cost him right here. You're 100% right, Matt. I haven't forgot about Cage. Well, we said lights down, lights up. Who's it going to be? We didn't think it was going to be Darby. We thought it might be Sting. So apparently they didn't do their job with guys who are in the business, who you think you got it figured out and what it's going to be, and then it's even more of a letdown than what you had in your mind, and he buries your skateboard shot 20 seconds later. Not why. And I don't know how Taz is out there and allowing that kind of stuff to go down, man.
Yeah, Fudge 420 cost him the title and then run off with it. Yeah, that would have been interesting. Darby could have run off the title and did vignettes with the black and white title somewhere and skateboarding, doing
Taz tries to run after him. He steps on the skateboard. Taz is skateboarding down the fucking thing. Like, oh, brother, and takes a big bump. Like, and that's what I want.
I didn't have any problems with the match. I thought they worked well together.
It was good.
The finish is just what got me.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might have, you saying why did Taz do it? I think that might have been Taz trying to do everything he could, because maybe they just said, look, we want Moxley up. And maybe they wanted a stronger finish. So Taz, in an effort to keep Cage a little stronger, suggested he be the reason. I'm just speculating. Mm-hmm. So he threw on the towel. And then the business at the end where Cage is still up. So that kind of is where my wrestling mind went. Maybe they were going that way. And a lot of people are upset that they're feeding these giants to Moxley. But I get it. It's no different, man, than Hogan and Savage. When Savage got that belt after WrestleMania 4, he was beating Hakeem on the house shows. He was beating Boss Man on the house shows.
But those guys were getting heat on him, and he was going from underneath. He wasn't getting heat on them and going over strong on them like that. They're booking these guys. It's just,
you're right.
And Moxley's an awesome seller too. Like when he's on the fucking cell and he's really hurting, it's believable. So for him to be getting heat on big man and keeping him down, I'm like, dude, why?
Yeah, that's the problem too. Even with Punk, even when he had his initial world heavyweight title run, he was just barely scratching out these victories and beating guys like Batista and Randy Orton, right?
How about this one too? 2 belly to back suplexes, right? You see this one, Moxie goes up, he sets, boom, and he's taking bumps like this still. You see that? Like the first one wasn't bad, but the second one, he's set right up. Like I'm not falling on the back of my head, which makes me believe he's working hurt. He's working concussed.
Yep. Or he's having issues with it. That's the exact
because
same
dude, it wasn't like get in the air, let me get it behind me. It was hook, bing, go, and fucking like that, you know. So it'll be interesting to see if they take a belt off him because something is happening there, you know, to keep him off.
Or he didn't trust Cage.
That's highly possible and probable too.
At this point, the only guy now that I can think of that has to take the title or has to get his championship rematch is Jericho. Like he still hasn't gotten his rematch since he lost it to Mox. They took the belt off him because they thought he was going to go do the tour, and then COVID started. So who else is there left for Mox to fight?
Yeah.
Well, he could still beat Brody and Lance Archer
again. Just they'll keep redoing them all over.
Ryback, you know, there'll be plenty of new.
I'll bring you in. Why, if they bring you in, bring him in.
I'd never lay down for Mox so I could beat him every time. God damn it. Especially in Japan.
I'm a Greek god Papa Don. He would do it. Well, anyway, guys, that's another edition. Unless Silvio, you want to wrap things up? Give any, you watched NXT, right? I'm assuming last night as well.
I think caught up on NXT.
No, okay. Well, everyone said that they started off with they were like there was some comparison. They were like on one show you had a black man starting off with being the double champ, and on the other show you had Sonny Kiss. So there was an interesting comparison for the two different dynamics, right?
Yeah.
Sonny Kiss and Velveteen Dream. Why not?
Very similar, yeah. I'd say overall we got a lot of cool athletic spots. We got some fun matches. It was just something weird was in the air with that storytelling. I don't know what was going on, but everyone, including the viewers, were just on another planet last night. So good as far as physical, but insane as far as psychology goes. I don't know why they made some of those choices. So interesting edition of Dynamite, aka Fight for the Fallen.
Man, I really want to just see them put the title back on Jericho and just turn it back into the levels. You've got to go through his squad before you even get a shot at him, and he really and that championship actually really means something when you finally get to, fight Chris Jericho. There's no reason for him not with them still in their 1 year really on TNT. They're in infancy. There's really no reason why he shouldn't be the champ, in my opinion. But that's my thoughts. Ben, do you have any final thoughts, AEW?
Just wishing you guys would shut the fuck up so I can go eat lunch because I haven't eaten yet today and it's 1:00. So really, it was a strange why. Like so many things that you can see kind of what they're trying to do, but they're missing 50-60% of this stuff. So hopefully Eazy-E can big brother them, and that the Tazes and the Double A's and the Malenkos and the Dustins can start to put these kids in their spots and get them ready for TV in the right way, especially if Cody's opening his own school, if Dustin's opening his own school. There's plenty of kids right in your house right now who need to take some lessons, and hopefully they can get them there. So again, high-hitting, hard-hitting action. Everybody worked their ass off. Just a lot of strange reasons why are we doing this that don't make sense to us. So keep working hard, everybody, and you're gonna hit on some, and some look good on paper, and some are just gonna, we'll try and get them next week. That's just the way it goes in all types of performance, not just wrestling. You can bomb in comedy on stage fucking for weeks at a time. Believe me, I've been there. So.
Wednesday Locker Room is up right now, guys, with Andrew Bello and Billy Ray Valentine. So go check that out. The Next Level podcast, I believe, is either being recorded now or it's going to be uploaded here today. So look out for that with Ted the Man Beast and Colin Wysong. Smack Attack will be on this weekend, and Pro Wrestling Reflection will be back as well. And don't forget to look out for the Conspiracy Horseman and the Friday Locker Room coming
and
tomorrow.
Horror Junkyard. I got Horror Junkyard.
Oh, nice.
Go, so.
Horror Junkyard as well. And that's it for us. Send us your feedback for next week's show, guys. Light the Fuse, hmg@gmail.com. And follow us on Hamin Media Group everywhere. Mr. Silvio?
Chris Silvio Superstar Seminars. Please check out my character development and ring psychology classes. I'll help you become pretty fucking good at your job. I've been working with people all over the world, and their changes in their character and just overall presence has been very strong. So I'm proud of them. Check out patreon.com/Superstar Wrestling Network for some fun wrestling podcasts and video stuff. I am at the Chris Silvio on all of your social medias.
Respect my brothers and appreciate all your hard work still and joining the brand and reaching 2 million downloads this week, man. I'm so happy to have you on board in the milestone and MSG with just a huge week of success in your new gig, man. We're all positive and pumped for you. We're sending out big thoughts to Big Ray out there who's facing down his surgery today for get his guts right, man. So I know he's going to pull through fine, and we're just waiting for some social media updates from him as well. You guys know where it is, thebrosters.com, prowrestlingtees.com, Zordos Olive Oil. If you want to support all the small businesses that we partner with, you know you're getting the best products from people who really are in this community, not just us selling you some Sherry's Berries or some other bullshit like that, infidels. Yeah, so it's Light the Fuse, it's Hacker Hamin, it's MSG, and the demo comp is set. The detonators are ready to go. I got the green light still. Count me down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
YOLO!
The best AEW show. The best. The best. The best.